Welcome to TotemPole Sports. On a Thursday night, we are 24 hours away from the women's Final Four and 48 hours away from the men's Final Four. Of course, we have Coach Taylor here that came back from the University of Miami. Luckily, he didn't get arrested, but look at his old self just laying on the couch because he's tired and he can't sit upright. Coach Taylor, how was the flight back?
I sat next to this lady who I think she might have owned IBM. She's gonna start watching Totem Pole. Yeah.
Oh, so she owns IBM is what you say, IBM.
Yeah. I told her I couldn't spell IBM.
IBM.
Did you know that IBM used to be a cash register company?
Yes.
And it became a computer company?
Yes.
Oh man. So what's been up, man? How's everything going? What's that belt you got there?
This is the Universal Championship, the WWE Universal Championship. Now, we know there's a lot of sports going on, but ladies and gentlemen, less than 40 hours away, WrestleMania 40. WrestleMania 40 is on Saturday in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, right in the Eagles Stadium, right? The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. Roman Reigns will be headlining night 1 and night 2 of WrestleMania. So WrestleMania is going to be the biggest box office attraction of all time. And this Universal Championship, Roman Reigns has held a championship for over 1,300 days. And when it comes to Roman Reigns, the longest reigning WWE champion of all time, he already passed Bruno Sammartino. You have to make sure that you acknowledge your tribal chief. You acknowledge him because Roman Reigns is the greatest of all time. And he has not lost a single match since 2019 against a guy that's no longer in the WWE.
Who's
so
that?
WrestleMania, Baron sorry-ass Corbin. That's what it is. But
what's his name?
Baron Corbin. Baron sorry-ass Corbin. But we don't talk about it.
Is that actually what they called him?
Yes. Yes. But see, we're not talking about him. We're going to talk about The Rock. We're talking about Roman Reigns because you have to acknowledge the final boss and the tribal chief. And also tomorrow, the greatest wise man of all time, Paul Heyman, is getting inducted to the Hall of Fame. And the tribal chief, Roman Reigns, will induct Paul Heyman into the Hall of Fame tomorrow after SmackDown. Once tomorrow hits, once Friday passes along, Saturday is WrestleMania. 7 o'clock on Saturday, 7 o'clock on Sunday. We'll see if Cody Rhodes can finish his story. We'll see if Seth Rollins can maintain the World Heavyweight Championship against Drew McIntyre. We're going to see brother against brother. Jay versus Jimmy Uso. Bloodline rules. And a lot of other things. Maybe some Stone Cold might come by. John Cena might come by. I'm not going to spoil it. But let's go ahead and let's talk some sports. Let's talk sports because this is what we're here for. We are here for sports because sports is the greatest entertainment of all time. Greatest entertainment of all time. I love sports. Sports makes both of us happy and it keeps us going. Caitlin Clark wins AP Player of the Year for the second straight year in a row. Coach Taylor, how do you feel about Caitlin Clark?
Caitlin Clark is maybe the greatest basketball player to ever grace a court. She will go down in the record books with Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and LeBron James. And she will win the national championship this year.
Are you sure about that?
Hey, I'm going with the underdog. People love the underdog. They want to boost the ratings. Caitlin Clark. Who does Caitlin Clark's game remind you of? What player?
Steph Curry.
Better JJ Redick.
Steph Curry.
Who's
Steph
taller?
Curry.
Caitlin Clark or Steph Curry?
Yeah. I feel like they're about the same height.
Wow. Man. Steph Curry. Could a woman ever play in the NBA?
No, because of the physicality.
So she couldn't just shoot threes?
No, she has to be able to play defense. You got to be able to play defense.
That's a good point. Do they even play defense?
She plays defense, but her offense is mainly, to score. Caitlin Clark is easy to figure out. When she goes right, that means she's going to pass it or go for a layup. When she goes left, that means she's going to shoot the ball. Teams still hadn't figured that out yet.
Did you see the picture of LeBron's leg?
Probably.
It just came out. There's a picture of LeBron's leg, and it's like muscles upon muscles. And people are accusing him of using performance enhancement drugs, PEDs, steroids, the juice, gear, test. Can you believe that people are accusing LeBron James of using steroids?
I don't think that's true. LeBron James spends over $1 million on his body, and he's always been healthy. He's barely had injuries. He had a scare freak injury with his foot 2 years ago. But at the end of the day, I don't think he's taking any steroids or any PEDs. He's the greatest player in this generation, but I always would consider Michael Jordan as my GOAT.
And you do not believe that he is using any steroids. He is 100% natural.
I don't believe he's using any steroids at all.
How do you feel about these people that are accusing him of cheating?
They're haters.
I agree. MK, no girl can go to the NBA, NFL, MLB, or any sport. That would be a boys' team. I think that there will be.
Wait, well, M2K, before you get canceled now, there is some women that coach in those leagues you just mentioned. I'm not saying play the sport, but they do coach. There's some women that coach in the NFL. There's some women that coach in the NBA, and there's probably a few, maybe a few women that coach in the MLB. So be careful what you say now.
Yeah.
But
I don't think she can be. She's a female herself, and she wants to play football. I think that women should be allowed to play in the major leagues, in the NBA and in the NFL. And I think there will be. Eventually, there will be women in these sports.
Mm. Well, what I think about Caitlin Clark, I think she is a great player, one of the greatest we've seen. She passed records. Um, I mean, a lot of records. Past Steph Curry. See, man, I mean, a lot of records that you can't even track when it comes to Caitlin Clark. But like I said, Caitlin Clark does have a chance to win a national championship this year. I just don't see that happening because, UConn team is very, very, you know, a very, very experienced team. But the number 22 jersey will be hanging into the rafters, and Caitlin Clark is the generation of women's college basketball. She averages 31 points a game, 7.5 rebounds, and 9 assists. I mean, I keep trying to tell y'all, Caitlin Clark is the system Iowa. She is the system. Without Caitlin Clark, Iowa ain't this good. I promise you. Just wait until next year and see if Iowa's going to be good when Caitlin Clark goes to the WNBA. I'm telling you, I've been saying it for weeks. Caitlin Clark is the system. That's all I have to say. I have tons of respect for her, but at the end of the day, let's be honest with ourselves. UConn is going to beat Iowa tomorrow. Iowa stands no chance unless Caitlin Clark drops 50 points. It's going to be a battle between Caitlin Clark and Paige Buchters.
MK says women in sports can only go to college. They can't play professional.
All right. Next topic, the Final Four serves up the usual menu of fun stories, and UConn is looking to win back-to-back championships for the first time since the 2006-2007 Florida Gators. Coach Taylor, how do you feel about UConn and the Final Four? You got
UConn men's
NCAA.
going to win.
They're going to win it.
UConn men's team has Dan Hurley, Bob Hurley's brother. Who's older, Bobby Hurley or Dan Hurley?
Probably Bobby.
I know their dad was a great high school coach in New Jersey. And now Dan Hurley has become a great college coach. Here's the question, Coach Lambeau. Women in sports can only go to college. They can't play professionally. I think that we will see a woman be a head NBA coach. I think we will have a woman head NFL coach one day, maybe even Major League Baseball. Will Dan Hurley make the jump to professional basketball?
Hell no.
The NBA.
No. Hell no. Here's why. See, just because you're good at coaching in college doesn't necessarily mean you can coach in the NBA. We've seen that with Michigan coach and John Behind before Jawan Howard got hired. It was
Yeah,
Behind
Jim,
Jim
yeah.
Behind from Michigan. He went to coach the Cleveland Cavaliers and was not successful. Now, John Calipari, coaching the NBA in his early 90s, wasn't really successful there. He's more a successful college coach. In college, you make, depending on the stature of the university, you'll make more money than you do in the NBA. The NBA is not easy to win. Here's why I say that. One, does the NBA play defense? No. More people, or excuse me, more fans like defense, right? Most of them like offense. But in college, you play defense, you play fundamentally sound basketball than you do in the NBA. NBA season is too long, 82 games. Nobody cares about the NBA until February, until after the Super Bowl. Nobody really cares about the NBA probably until after March Madness.
Yeah,
So
nobody
March,
cares about the NBA till the playoffs.
that's see, there you go. But
Nobody's watching it.
college basketball, every single game counts. All the 30 games they play before the conference tournaments, those games count. It's like with college football. Every single game counts. Been on seeding, all that stuff. But with Dan Hurley, he just got an extension earlier this year, a 6-year deal that landed him in UConn in 2028 to 2030. Not saying that, you know, he would not go to the NBA. I don't know. But Dan Hurley has got the best job of all time. He's got the best job. And he's bringing UConn back. The more championships I win at UConn, I'm going to keep getting raises. I wouldn't go anywhere. I would stay at UConn. I don't expect him to leave anytime soon. He has unfinished business. I think Dan Hurley will create a legacy here. But at the
I'm
end
gonna
of the
make a
day,
prediction.
I already said it. UConn is going to win.
I'm gonna make a prediction that says Dan Hurley will go and be the head coach of the team that can pay him whatever he wants. And there's a team in New York City and Madison Square Garden that
No,
there's not one
no,
basketball coach in America that
no,
would
no.
not want to go be the coach of that team and to win a championship. I don't know if they've ever had a championship since the 60s.
Okay, hold on,
The
hold on,
New
hold on.
York
No,
Knickenbockers,
no,
the Knicks.
no, no. Here's why. Tom Thibodeau, one of the most defensive coaches with the Boston Celtics, been a head coach of Chicago Bulls and Derrick Rose. Tom Thibodeau has actually done a great job turning around the Knicks, better than the other coaches in the past. Tom Thibodeau in the fifth season, the New York Knicks are actually competitive now. They weren't jack before he got there. I know Julius Randle's out for the season with a shoulder injury, but get rid of Tom Thibodeau is a no because the Knicks are actually getting better. I
And I'm
think they
not,
made
I'm
it.
not, I'm not saying that it's going to be this year or next year, but eventually he's from North Jersey. I can
That's
see
my
him
point, though.
going.
You just made my point. If Tom Thibodeau keeps on being successful with the New York Knicks, then the job is not going to happen unless they have multiple losing seasons. But the New York Knicks so far in 5 seasons, or at least in 3 seasons, have done a great job of at least making the playoffs and making the second round. So as far as Dan Hurley going to the New York Knicks, maybe the next 5 years, I doubt it. I just doubt it.
What about the New Jersey Nets, the Brooklyn Nets, not the Knicks, the
That
Nets.
wouldn't that wouldn't be the Brooklyn Nets have Mikal Bridges. They barely have a roster. They barely have a roster. That's going
So
to be a
could
very
you see Dan Hurley going there and
no
turning around the
no
Nets?
no 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 because see what you don't understand about the NBA. The NBA is all about egos, right? The NBA you allow stuff to slide, right? I've already mentioned it before. Defense. No defense is being played in the NBA. Most teams in the NBA combine for about 250 points per game. The average score is at least 120 to 115. No, you gotta when you find a job, a coaching job in the NBA, you gotta coach the right team. You can't just go to a random team, expect you to build a team and be patient. The NBA owners are not as patient as they are with college ADs. They're not patient. They're not. They gonna fire you. They fired Adrian Griffin within 43 games of the season in his first year. So they have to be willing to be patient with you. And a lot of NBA owners, they don't know nothing about basketball. They just know about business, but they don't know anything about basketball. You gotta let a coach build for 3 to 4 years. I respect what Dan Hurley is, but if he goes to the NBA, they're not gonna let him rebuild like they did with UConn. You gotta let them build a team. You can't transform an NBA team after one season. It's not gonna work. So him going to New York, the Brooklyn Nets and New York Knicks, That's a fantasy thing. But I will tell you this about UConn. UConn has a chance to make history. UConn will beat Alabama on Saturday, and on Monday, when they play in the Final Four at 9 o'clock, uh, they will face NC State, and they will beat NC State by double digits because they're not good at close games. That is what I would tell you about the University of Connecticut. Um, Next topic, we can get into some NFL. Ooh, we get some NFL. So Kyle Van Noy is returning to the Ravens. Kyle Van Noy to the Ravens. Kyle Van Noy has been around the league for a while with the Patriots, with the Dolphins, with the Chargers. He's been everywhere. Coach Taylor, how do you feel about the signing of the linebackers? I know they lost Patrick Queen to the Pittsburgh Steelers for a great deal. How do you feel? How do you feel about this Ravens defense, especially with the loss of Mac McDonald, who became the head coach of the Seattle Seahawks? How do you feel about this signing?
Dude, I don't even know who Kyle Van Noy is. What what team did he come from?
The Patriots. I just said it. He come from the Patriots. He came from the Dolphins. He played for the Chargers. He played for the Detroit Lions.
Wow. How old is this guy? He played for a lot of different teams.
So he's about maybe 33, 34.
Yeah, he's not Patrick Queen. MK, U2 school starts early. I mean, 9 million, 2-year deal. I mean, I don't know. Is there anybody else available? I I think this is just a guy that they're getting, and they're going to draft somebody.
So are you confident in the Ravens? Are you confident in the Ravens making a playoff push?
They're always in the playoffs, man.
I'm talking about farther than the AFC Championship. Are the Ravens have a chance to go to the Super Bowl?
I mean, they had a chance this year, man. And Lamar Jackson didn't play well. What's up, Bryson?
Hmm. Okay, well, since Coach doesn't know anything about Kyle Van Noy,
No, I don't know nothing about Kyle Van Noy.
and I do, which is pretty sad. Ladies and gentlemen, Kyle Van Noy was a second round pick by the Detroit Lions in 2014 before the famous Ernie Adams and Bill Belichick got this man in 2018 when we won the Super Bowl, obviously. And then he's played with the Chargers and he's played with the Dolphins and he's played, back and forth. Like I said, Kyle Van Noy has had 9 sacks in 14 games after he signed with the Ravens in September. He did play this season. 30 tackles, 9 quarterback hits, and 2 forced fumbles. Kyle Van Noy is a force to be reckoned with. He has the experience. He has a veteran presence. He's won a Super Bowl before. So I think the signing of Kyle Van Noy makes great sense when it comes to the Ravens with the loss of Patrick Queen. I'm not saying you can replace Patrick Queen, but I will tell you something. At the end of the day, stuff like that is not easy to sign. There it goes. Kyle Van Noy. Next topic we're going to get into is some NBA. Actually, we're going to start with Luka Doncic because Coach Taylor said that Luka Doncic and the Dallas Mavericks are going to win a championship this year. This year. With this blasphemous stuff that came out of his mouth. I don't know if he was sniffing on cocaine or shooting needles up his arm, but he has the audacity to sit here and say that the Dallas Mavericks are going to win the NBA Finals over the Denver Nuggets. Coach Taylor, how do you feel about Luka Doncic and the Mavs on this winning streak? 25 points. Luka Doncic, how do you feel about the
I
Mavericks
think that
beating the
Luka
Hawks?
Doncic and what's that guy's name? Kyrie Irving. I think they're
Yep.
the best duo in the NBA.
The best
I
who?
think they're the best duo in the NBA.
Oh my God.
Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving, Allen Iverson said, is the greatest ball handler to ever play in the NBA. Luka Doncic is going to get his ring. They are crowning Luka Doncic as the second coming. They want him to be the new Michael Jordan. Luka Doncic is going to get a championship. Mark Cuban sold half of that franchise, and he is going to be rewarded by Adam Silver. Adam, don't call me a James Bond villain. Silver is going to give the city of Dallas a championship. Is Matt Pat a Dallas Mavericks fan?
No, he likes the Philadelphia 76ers.
Well, call Dirk Nowitzki and tell him the Dallas Mavericks are getting ready to win another championship.
Have you lost your mind right now?
No, they are the best duo in the NBA. Name
Oh,
another duo that's even close to Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving.
um, I give you one. Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray. Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray. A two-time MVP in Jokic and Jamal Murray. That's not a better duo than Kyrie and Luka. What
No,
about
no.
Giannis and Damian Lillard?
Dame Lillard ain't Kyrie. And Murray ain't Kyrie.
Listen to what I just said. I'm talking about duos. So you're telling me that Luka and Kyrie are better duo than Giannis and Damian Lillard?
Yes.
What? So Luka is better than Giannis Antetokounmpo?
You named Luka the best player in the NBA last year.
That's last year.
Luka can actually shoot. Giannis can't.
Giannis can shoot. He can't make free throws.
Not like Luka. Allen
Better
Iverson said that Luka is that dude.
is this a better duo than Devin Booker and Kevin Durant? Kevin Durant
Yeah.
at top.
Kevin
Better than
Durant is
Kevin Durant.
washed. Kevin
Oh.
Durant is washed.
Stop.
I'm a big Kevin Durant
is a
fan.
top 5 player. What are you talking about?
Top 5 player win 20 years ago.
Bro.
Kevin
Devin
Durant
Booker.
is
So Devin
washed.
Booker ain't good either?
Kevin Durant is washed.
Oh my
Luka Doncic is better than Kevin Durant right now.
Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown can't even dribble with his left hand.
Yes, he can. Yes, he can. He worked on that. Stop playing. You don't watch basketball.
Neither one of those guys. No. Luka is
What?
different. Luka is different. Kyrie Irving is different.
Oh.
The Boston Celtics fans are still upset about Kyrie Irving leaving the Boston Celtics. I'm going to bed. Good night, guys, since I have school tomorrow. I know. We might change the time at this because it's too late for you.
Better than Anthony Davis and LeBron James?
Yes.
Stop. Just stop this. Stop.
LeBron James and Anthony Davis.
What about Steph Curry and Klay Thompson?
Klay can't even start on his own team.
So Klay Thompson
Steph Curry.
Wait. Klay Thompson had one bad season, and you're still saying that Luka and Kyrie are better than Steph and Clay? Because Clay had
Yeah,
one bad season, one bad year.
they're washed. They're
Oh,
trash. Steph Curry's going to politics. He's going to sell his soul. Steph Curry's going to politics, man.
well, we
Be
we we
governor
we
of California here soon.
we know for a fact when it comes, well, you may be good at talking football, but when it comes to basketball, you just the
I'm
black
sticking to what I'm saying, man. That the
that black.
Dallas Mavericks are going to win it all.
That all just that blasphemy that come out that blasphemy that comes out your damn mouth. Talking about some
Blasphemy.
yes, that stupid shit that come out your mouth. You just not making sense. Like better than Jason, better Luca and Kyrie better than are better than LeBron and AD, Giannis and Damian Lillard, Jason Brown and Jason Tatum. I mean, Steph and Clay. Oh, come
Dude,
on.
Anthony Davis can't even play a season without getting hurt.
Anthony, I understand that, but
And
you're talking
LeBron
about
James
pure.
is so roided up. He's starting to look like Barry Bonds.
Oh,
He's
LeBron.
got a caveman forehead. Like, dude, Luka Doncic, Kyrie
Oh,
Irving, NBA champions this year.
well, that's not gonna happen because I predict the future. It's not gonna happen. Julius Randle needs surgery on his right shoulder. He'll miss the rest of the season for the New York Knicks. Uh, how does this affect the New York Knicks, Coach Taylor? Because they all they have is Josh Hart. Uh, I forgot his last name, Da Vinci or something. DiVincenzo, and then Jalen Brunson.
If Jalen Brunson was so good, why did the Dallas Mavericks get rid of him?
Because they wanted to keep it was between him and Luca. You keep him or you keep Luca.
Exactly. Mark Cuban said he would rather divorce his wife than to lose Luka Doncic. That's a quote from Mark Cuban, one of the smartest men in America. Mark Cuban should be president. Mark Cuban should be running for president. He probably will one day. He said he would rather lose his wife than to lose Luka Doncic. The Knicks can win when they hire Dan Hurley. They'll win an NBA championship. That's my prediction. I don't know if it's going to happen this year, but eventually it will happen. What do you think? Are the Knicks done? Or are the Knicks just going to be the Knicks?
Well, I'm not sure. So Julius Randle has been hurt since January. Um, January 27th against the Miami Heat. Um, they were 14-2 for that month in January, but not just without Randle. They're without uh, OG Anunoby and Mitchell Robinson missed most of their games, and the Knicks have fallen to fifth place in the Eastern Conference. They probably still have a chance to make the playoffs if they don't lose the rest of their games, obviously. But he finished the season with 24 points, 9.5 rebounds, and 5 assists. Um, but Julius Randle has been having injury problems since the 2022-23 season, and then earlier in his career. So he decided to get, you know, surgery on that at the end of the day. But this is very, very, you know, tough for the Knicks. I think the Knicks will probably get to the first round and get eliminated. So Jalen Brunson, it's hard for him to carry the team. It's not just, Julius Randle getting hurt. You got three other guys hurt as well. So I think New York Knicks will probably make it to the first round, and then they'll probably end their season along those lines. But like I said earlier, the Knicks being in fifth place in the Eastern Conference and not playing for the play-in is better than what they were 10 years ago. So we will have to see how this goes. Breaking news here. Breaking news. LSU's Haley Van Lith enters the transfer portal. She mentioned that she was going to play one season at LSU. Um, she struggled shooting. I think she was a great addition to the championship needs for LSU, but they had a chance to beat Iowa, but their defensive game plan and their adjustments was not good. How do you feel about Haley Van Lith entering the transfer portal for the second straight year, coming from Louisville to LSU?
I mean, it's kind of like Bronny James being in the transfer portal. Like, how many times can you transfer? Why doesn't Bronny James just go to the NBA? Why doesn't Haley Van Lith couldn't even start for LSU, got benched? Like, where's she going to go? South Carolina? UConn? Can she even start for those teams?
Possibly off the bench, not as a starter. But I mean, I I, I don't know. She spent her first 3 years at Louisville. Louisville went to the Final Four in 2022, and they lost in the Elite Eight, and then she decided to transfer to LSU. So you're right. How many times can you transfer? LSU is losing a lot of key pieces. You're losing Angel Reese to the WNBA. WNBA. She could transfer to Iowa to maybe be the face. Once Caitlin Clark goes to WNBA. But I don't know, to be honest. I think she's a great player, but she watching her in the tournament, she's struggled to shoot the ball. So we'll see where she goes. But if I'm Haley Van Lith, she's going to go to a place where she can win.
What's more exciting to watch? The last question of the night, unless you have something else. What's more exciting to watch? Men's basketball or women's basketball?
Women's basketball.
Wow. I, I I never ever would have thought that I would hear that, but it's true. How has women's basketball became more interesting than men's basketball? Is it because of all the divas and the basketball players, one and dones, going to the NBA, and the women's game takes more skill in shooting? How did that occur? I never would have thought that women's basketball, are they doing this? Is the NBA intentionally doing this and creating this hype to help improve the WNBA ratings one day?
It's a possibility. It's a possibility. I don't
Hmm.
watch. I don't watch the WNBA. I only watch the NBA. But college basketball for the women's side, I think I paid attention to. I think this is the most that. Excuse me. This is the most that I paid attention to women's basketball in a very long time.
I'm going to make a prediction. You're going to see some of these college coaches that coach women's basketball. You're going to see them make the jump to the WNBA. You're going to see them getting partial ownership deals in the WNBA because they need to bring some of those coaches over to the WNBA. I can't name a head coach in the WNBA, but I can name women's college basketball coaches. WNBA,
Becky
You want to
Hammond.
get people watching your games? Get some of these coaches to come with these players. You'll get people watching the games.
Becky Hammond is a WNBA coach. I dated one, and I don't watch the WNBA. But this is it for TotemPole Sports. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We are sponsored by St. Pete Rejuvenate. We'll be back tomorrow. This is the Universal Championship. WrestleMania is 48 hours away. Acknowledge your tribal chief. Acknowledge the head of the table. Acknowledge your final boss. We'll be back tomorrow, same time at 10 o'clock. We got some games going on. So a lot of topics we got to talk about. And then we'll be back on Monday because spring break is officially over. Thank you. Y'all have a great night.